First is Lucy Hu, who's joining us from Brussels. Lucy, Spain has revised its coronavirus numbers. Can you give us all the details, please?
Yes, after looking again at the figures over the last 3 months since the coronavirus began in the country has now revised its official death toll from by 2,000, saying that in fact there were 2,000 less deaths than had initially been thought, and that the death toll is just under 27,000 at 26,834. The also total number of cases is less than was initially expected as well. So some good news from Spain, which was the second worst affected country in Europe after Italy and had one of the strictest lockdowns in Europe. For 8 weeks, people unable to even take exercise outside of their homes. But now very much light at the end of the tunnel as locals are allowed to return to the beaches, and even the lockdown restrictions begin to lift in the most densely populated cities of Madrid and Barcelona.
Absolutely, Lucy. You know, that was my next question to you. We were getting visuals earlier that beaches in Barcelona were once again, saw a lot of people on the beaches enjoying the sun once again. So could you give us an update about the lockdown restrictions that have been eased in Spain? You know, they were not eased earlier in hotspot cities like Madrid and Barcelona, but now we are seeing everywhere across Spain lockdown restrictions have eased. Spain has even asked tourists to return to the country from July onwards.
Yes, July the 1st, Spain's tourism minister has said will be the date where international travellers can plan holidays in Spain. So a significant moment there. The tourism industry is a huge business in Spain. It's worth some 12% of its GDP and makes up 13% of its total employment. So it is very important to the government to kickstart its tourism industry ahead of the peak upcoming season. For locals, yes, as you say, beaches in the Canary Islands, but also in those major cities, the famous beaches of Barcelona starting to fill up as those restrictions were lifted yesterday. Also major parks in those big cities reopened again for the first time in several weeks. So, again, huge relief for citizens who've been living under the strictest lockdown conditions in Europe. In terms of the tourism strategy, it's going to start with a local and regional level. And then, as I say, from July, we'll start to see some international travel. But it will be generally countries which have similar low levels of COVID-19 transmission rates. But certainly, Spanish authorities are keen to kickstart the tourism industry as soon as possible.
Lucy Hu, thank you so much for joining us with all the updates from Spain. The country has revised its coronavirus numbers, bringing it down by close to 2,000.